Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. Today I am talking about 10 things I write down in my second brain or in my journal to improve my mental health every time I feel down. So as I've said many times, I do struggle with mental health issues, and right now I am a little bit sick. I've gotten a cold, so my voice might not sound the best and my head isn't functioning properly, but we will just jump into the video. The first thing I write down is all of my accomplishments because I tend to forget all of the things I've done, and I think that's a problem more people are struggling with, that we tend to forget all the things we have done and only remember all the things we weren't able to accomplish. So that's one of the reasons why I write down every single thing I do and every single thing I have been able to accomplish. So that's the first thing. The second thing is quite simple, and this is something I recommend everyone do. If you have a problem with your mental health or not, I write down my tasks, to dos, and events. You can't remember anything, so just stop trying and write it down because it is a lot easier. It will save you time and a lot of stress. The next thing is templates on what I should do when I am depressed. So I get depressed, and I think a lot of people experience depression at some point in their life, but I get depressed I would say every 6 to 8 months or so, and I have templates on what I should do every time I get depressed. I have several things I do. I exercise, I read books, I do something I like, which I will come back to later. And I have these templates just to remind me that there are things you can do to feel a lot better right now. So I have templates on what I should do when I am depressed. The fourth thing I do is I journal, and I have been journaling for several years. Again, another thing I recommend to everyone, just start journaling in one way or another. The fifth thing is my sleep and what I eat. So I track my sleep and what I eat, and I compare that to my journal just to see how my sleep and the things I eat affect my mood and my energy levels, just to be able to improve as much as I can on those things. So if I see that sleeping 7 hours isn't enough, then it's probably time to try and sleep 8.5 hours. It's just a way for me to track things I do in my life to make sure I am being the best version of myself. Uh, the best version of myself. And I don't do this all the time. I did it back when I first went to therapy, and I'm doing it now again just to see if anything has changed. But I do it to figure out how much sleep I need, what I should eat, and just to figure out what affects my mood. Then I can just have it written down in my second brain to remember it. The sixth thing is all of my social media ideas go into my second brain. This would apply to a lot of people, but not with social media ideas, maybe with projects in your life or projects you want to do at work. This would probably apply. So if you have a lot of work projects or a lot of personal projects you want to get done, it is so hard to remember all of those projects. So I would recommend just writing everything down. I do that with all of my social media ideas because that's the project I have in my life, and it relieves a lot of stress. So every time I'm sitting in front of the camera, I don't have to come up with another idea. I have a bunch of ideas already, and I can just pick one and use it for example, a YouTube video. The next one is every positive message and comment I get. So positive comments and positive messages mean a lot to me, especially when I am having a bad day. I tend to just write everything down so I can go in and read them to help motivate myself or give myself a little bit of a boost. So that can be a comment in my YouTube comment section. It can be a comment on TikTok. It can be a message from a family member that meant a lot to me. I try to save a lot of those things so I can go back and revisit them and remind myself that people actually care, and there is just a bunch of stuff I struggle with when I start overthinking. It isn't too big of a problem because I have these things, I have these steps that I can go into every time I'm struggling, so I haven't had a hard time for the last couple of years. I can feel my energy level dropping a bit when I get depressed, but doing all of these things help me stay positive and keep going even though I am a little low on energy and a little depressed. I have a list of all my books I have read with notes on them. So again, this is something you would have in your second brain anyways, but I do this in a special way. I have a database with a lot of highlights and progressive summarization on everything. So I have this huge system I've been building up for such a long time, and I'm really proud of it. So the ninth thing is a list of all the things I enjoy doing. And this might sound stupid because people ask me, don't you remember all the things you like doing? And the answer is I actually don't. When I am depressed, like really, really depressed, nothing feels like a thing I would enjoy doing. So just reminding myself of what I find fun uh, is uh, is an easy way to actually get up and do something. So that might be playing a video game or watching a particular movie. So I love the movie The Intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway. I watch that every time I am a little sad, and it always makes me so happy. So things like that I like to just have a list of, just to be able to go in and look at it and see see what I like doing and try to do as many of the things I can. And the 10th thing is a list of all of my favorite memories. So this is again just like the number 7 here, every positive message and comment. This is quite similar to that. I like to keep a record of every positive memory because I have been lucky enough to experience a lot of good stuff in my life, and a lot of the things I tend to forget or at least not think about enough. All the great memories and all the things I have been lucky enough to be a part of. It is so easy to forget those things in a hectic, stressful life. So I tend to just write it down. I believe writing is one of the best things you can do to improve your mental health and, in general, overall health, because our brains aren't too good at remembering everything. So having a system or an app like I have here to help you actually do that will make your life a lot easier. So that's the 10 things I do, 10 things I write down in order to become a lot happier and in order to manage my mental health a lot better. As usual, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again quite soon.